What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey. And today, we're going to talk about this NFL Sunday afternoon matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, so this game's set to kick off Sunday, 1 p.m. East Coast time, October 27th. This game will be played at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. The line right now is Jacksonville plus 4.5 over or under 51. The line has since moved. It was that. Now it's Jacksonville plus 3.5, and the over-under is set at 48.5, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at this matchup real quick, right? Or at least these two teams. The Green Bay Packers just got done beating the Cardinals and the Texans. They play the Lions next, though, so this could be a look-ahead spot, guys. The Packers have won 4 straight road games. Jordan Love's completing 61.5% of his passes for 1,351 yards, 15 touchdowns, but 8 interceptions, guys. He's been kind of letting it loose, man. Like my neighbor said, he's been slinging it like Brett Favre out there, all over the field, right? So Jaden Reed and Romeo Doubs have combined for 764 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, while Tucker Kraft has 21 receptions. The Packers' ground game's averaging 155 yards games, 155 yards per contest. And Jacobs, of course, he leads the way with 540 yards, but he's only got 1 touchdown so far, guys. Defensively, though, Green Bay, they got Quay Walker out there. He's been leading the team with 52 tackles. Devontae Wyatt, he has 3 sacks. And Xavier McKinney, he has 5 interceptions. You know what I mean? As far as the injury report for this team, when you're looking at it, you're looking at Green Bay. Of course, they do have Ballentine, the cornerback. He's still doubtful with the ankle. The center, Josh Myers, he's questionable with that wrist. And, of course, Wyatt, you got to remember him. Wyatt also is questionable with the ankle injury, guys. All right, so looking over at Jacksonville and what they got going on. Jacksonville lost to the Bears. They beat the Patriots. And they play the Eagles next, man. So they also got a nice little matchup ahead as well, right? Jacksonville split their last 8 home games. Trevor Lawrence is completing only 62.1% of his passes for 1,527 yards, 9 touchdowns, but only 3 interceptions. All right, and Brian Thomas Jr., rookie, and Christian Kirk, they both combined for 833 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. While Gabe Davis, he's giving them 18 receptions, man. Now Jacksonville's ground game is only averaging 124.3 yards per contest. Tank Bigsby leads the way right now with 415 yards and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Jacksonville, they got Ventrell Miller, and he's been leading the way with them for 47 tackles. Trayvon Walker, he has 6 sacks, and Andre Sisco, he has 1 interception right now, guys. All right, and looking at their injury report right now, you got to understand that for Jacksonville, Wingard, he's still going to be out with the knee injury. Cam Robinson, he's still got the concussion, so he's out for an undefined amount of time. We don't know what's going on with him. Olukun, he's questionable with the foot. Otimi is questionable with that calf, and Travis Etienne is questionable with the hamstring, guys. All right, so now that we understand what's going on as far as injury-wise with these two teams, man, let's look a little bit deeper in this matchup, right? So Green Bay comes in this game averaging 26.6 points per game. That's the number 7 offense in the NFL, and they're going against the 30th worst defense in the NFL, points per game-wise, man. That's 27.7 points per game they give up, right? Now, yards per play, they're only giving up 6 yards per play, but that's 29th in the NFL, right? And Green Bay, they're number 6 in the NFL on that, 6.1 yards per play. All right, as far as third downs concerned, Green Bay's third down conversion rate is at 40.48%. That's 12th best in the NFL, but they're going against the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they could be even better than that. Because Jacksonville lets the opponents convert 45.05% of the time. That's 26th worst in the NFL, man. Then let's go ahead and let's look at this red zone, right? So in the red zone, Jacksonville's the worst red zone defense in the NFL, man. They allow you to score touchdowns 78.26% of the time, whereas Green Bay, they're middle of the pack. They score a touchdown 54.17% of the time, but man, Jacksonville allows you to score a touchdown 78.26% of the time. Now, in their defense, they've been playing over in London and other stuff like that. But, man, we'll get into this. We'll look a little bit deeper into this, right? So, Jacksonville, when you invert it, okay, Jacksonville on offense, they score 20.7 points per game. It's 21st in the NFL. But Green Bay's defense is 10th best in the NFL. They only give up 20.4 points per game, right? Jacksonville's yards per play is only at 5.6. That's 14th, middle of the pack. Green Bay's only allowing 5.1 yards per play. That is number 7 in the NFL. Third downs, Jacksonville converts on 34.18% of the time. That's 24th in the NFL. Whereas Green Bay, they allow you to convert 35.37% of the time. So they're middle of the pack on that. You know what I mean? Their defense is middle of the pack as far as stopping you on third down. Jacksonville's red zone offense, as far as scoring touchdowns, they score a touchdown 50% of the time. That's 24th worst in the NFL. But Green Bay, they're not that good there either, man. They allow you to score a touchdown 56% of the time. That's 19th worst in the NFL. So understand that for a second there. Riddle me that one, right? And then you look at Green Bay versus Jacksonville as far as rushing yards, right? So on the ground, Green Bay averages 5 yards a carry. That is 6th best in the NFL. But Jacksonville stops the run. They only allow 4.2 yards per carry. That's 7th best in the NFL. Then you look at Jacksonville's total game against what they allow on the ground. They only allow 102.6 yards per game rushing. So Jacksonville will be able to go up against this vaunted Green Bay rushing offense that's rushing for 155 yards a game. That's 5th best in the NFL, man. So this is where the rubber meets the road. All right, and then when you look at Jacksonville, on the inverse, Jacksonville, they get 5 yards per rush. That's 4th best in the NFL, but they're going against Green Bay's defense, man. They allow you to get 4.3. That's 9th best in the NFL, but then when you look total game, that's where Green Bay drops off. Total game, Green Bay allows 114.6 yards per game on the ground, and Jacksonville, they're 12th best. You know, they get 124.3 yards per game on the ground. Now, passing, Green Bay is 7th best in the NFL as far as yards per play. They get 7.9 yards per play, and Jacksonville's passing defense, they allow 8 yards per play, and that's 28th in the NFL. You know what I mean? But you got to look at the inverse, right? So let's go ahead and let's look at Jacksonville, man. Passing. Jacksonville, they get 7.1 yards per pass play. That's 19th in the NFL, and Green Bay's pass defense ain't the best. They give up 6.9 yards per play passing. That means they're the 15th middle of the pack in the NFL, man. As far as pressure to sack rate, so Green Bay, they protect their quarterback pretty decent. 5th best in the NFL, 4.91%. And Jacksonville, they don't really get there. They only get a sack 5.95% of the time. All right, Jacksonville, they're allowing 7.17% of the time for somebody to get back there to Trevor Lawrence, and that's 16th in the NFL. And they're going against the 10th best sack defense in the NFL in Green Bay that gets to the quarterback 8% of the time, guys. So there could be a problem for Jacksonville right there, right? Then when you got to look at the last 3 games and how these two teams have been playing. Last 3 games, Green Bay's averaging 27.3 points per game, and they're only giving up 18 points a game, guys. Whereas Jacksonville, they're scoring 28.3, but they're also giving up 28.3 in the last 3. Now, mind you, remember those games were over. 2 of those games were over in London. Okay, and when you're talking about as home versus away, Green Bay, they're scoring 27.7 points per game, but they're only giving up 22.3 points per game when they're on the road. That means they win by an average of 5.3 points per game, and Jacksonville's only losing by 1 point when they're at home or in London. Okay, because they're scoring 25 points per game, and they're only giving up 26 points per game, guys. All right, so anyway, looking at these two teams situationally, when you understand all that, what they've done in the last 3 games, you got to understand full season, right? So Green Bay is 5-2 on the season, whereas Jacksonville's coming in at 2-5. As a home team, okay, Jacksonville is 1-1 straight up, and as an away team, Green Bay is 2-0. All right, now when you look against the spread as an away favorite, Green Bay they're 1-0 so far this season, and as a home underdog, all right, Jacksonville somehow has not been a home underdog yet this year. That makes no sense at all. All right, but at home, they're 0-2 against the spread, guys. Now, as far as full season, Green Bay's 4-3 against the spread, and Jacksonville is 3-4 against the spread. Over-unders, Green Bay is 3 to the over, 3 to the under with 1 push, and Jacksonville is 4 to the over and 3 to the under. As far as at home, Jacksonville's 1 to the over, 1 to the under, and as a road team, Green Bay is 1 to the over and 1 to the under as well, guys. So it's completely evenly split situationally. All right, so looking at these two teams, you got to understand what they've done the last 10 times they've actually been on the field. Going back to last season, Green Bay is 7-3 in their last 10 games. They are on a 3-game win streak so far this season right now, guys. As far as against the spread, though, they did not cover against Houston in the last game. But against the spread, Green Bay is 7-3 going back to last season, and it's been 4 to the over, 5 to the under with 1 push. All right, and they virtually played 3 unders in a row if you're counting the push as an under, guys, in the last 3 games that they've won. All right, so going ahead and looking at Jacksonville, the last 10 times they've been on the field, they're only 3-7 the last 10 times. Going back to last season, they're 4-6 against the spread, and they're 5 to the over, 5 to the under in their last 10. They are coming in off a win off of New England. Okay, we give them that 32-16. They won the last game. All right, but they did lose to Chicago 35-16, and we did kind of figure out what happened, because that was over in London, and it was just a great opportunity for Caleb Williams on the big stage, guys. We already knew that. All right, so then let's go ahead and let's take a look, and they are coming in off of 3 straight overs as well, guys. Their next 3 games got Philly, Minnesota, and Detroit for Jacksonville. And the next 3 games for Green Bay, they got Detroit, Chicago, and San Francisco, guys. All right, now head-to-head, these two teams are Green Bay runs it 3-1 straight up, but Jacksonville runs it against the spread 3-1, and it's been 1 to the over, 3 to the under in their last 4 times. Last time they did play, though, as a note, was November 15th, 2020. All right, so take all that with a grain of salt, guys. All right, now understanding all that, you got to kind of look at the trends a little bit. Trends for these two teams are the Green Bay Packers have hit the first quarter money line in 9 of the last 11 away games, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have hit the third quarter money line in 11 of their last 17 games. Green Bay Packers have hit the first quarter spread in 10 of their last 11 away games, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have scored the first in 6 of their last 10 games. Jacksonville Jaguars have also covered the third quarter spread in 12 of their last 17 games, and the Green Bay Packers have covered the spread for the third quarter in 13 of their last 19 games, guys. Jacksonville's also hit the third quarter game total over in 11 of their last 17 games, and the Green Bay Packers have hit the team total over in 8 of their last 9 away games, guys. Green Bay Packers have also hit the money line in 14 of their last 22 games, and the Jacksonville Jaguars have hit the second quarter game total over in 10 of their last 17 games. All right, so and look, Jaguars have lost each of their last 8 games against NFC North opponents. Packers have won 9 of their last 10 Sunday games. The road team has covered the spread in each of the Packers' last 7 Week 8 games. The Jaguars have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 5 Week 8 games as underdogs. The Packers have scored the first touchdown in 12 of their last 13 Sunday games, and the Packers have won the first quarter in each of their last 6 road games following a win. The favorites also have won the first half in each of the Jaguars' last 9 Week 8 games. All right, so understanding all that, man, then why is this line, okay, Packers -4? Well, I'll tell you why. The Packers are 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games as road favorites. All right, they're starting to starting to get it rolling right now, right? Okay, with Jordan Love, but can Jordan Love defeat this Jacksonville Jaguars just sheer garbage, man? Like, can they come out there and really fight right now? Because the problem is Jacksonville ain't been coming out there and fighting. They ain't been playing together. Now, has it been because they've been playing overseas or whatever? We don't know. We will find out today, though. Okay, to be honest with you, I kind of like this game. Under the 51 I'd already gotten in at. You know what I mean? And as far as a side, I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at this line. There's no reason this line should be set at 4 and going down unless Jacksonville's gonna cover, man. So I would buy a couple points and try to get it at Jacksonville plus 4.5. or 5. Get it back to the 4.5 that it was originally at, man. I believe you can get it back to the 4.5 for let's look real quick. Yeah, you can get it back to the 4.5 for -125. So you're still in the game with that, guys. I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I'm going to holler at y'all. See you at the window. Peace.